welcome back to Bailiwick of Guernsey Shipwrecks. I'm covered in talcum powder from getting my suit on, and the boys are getting ready to go back in the water, or in the water I should say, for today. We've got Matt Lemay from Channel Island Divers. Hello. And Paul Maindy. And Phil Worry.
Hey, that's me.
So me and Phil are going to go in second. And Paul and Matt are going to go in first. I wonder how many scallops they're going to get. I reckon Matt's going to be about 80 and Paul's probably going to be, well, the same, 80 each. Where do you want to go?
About there.
About here? Okay,
Yeah.
That's good. Getting the bag attached to his reel.
The old jet propulsion's on.
Yeah, it's orange at both ends, which are good because if you're lost in the sea and you want to wave at people and you've got orange gloves on opposed to blue ones, same with them. I think they're a good idea, the orange ones. You can lay back in the water and flap your feet, just an extra chance. And you need every chance you can if you get lost.
Hoist the flag, Phil. I'm hoisting. JP.
Yeah.
Just take us just north of the reef.
Four-line, yeah.
Yeah, on the outside.
Okay. Hold on.
Where it says foreign.
Where's your camera? Oh. There we go. Stern. Just stops the boat going forward, and then we want to back away from the divers when they go in.
What we got, John?
You have 31.2 metres, and you're just north of the F and the four-line. Down the stern.
Just like that.
It's a little bit windy today, but hopefully it doesn't sound too bad on the camera. See, Paul's the bubbles are right next to his buff now, so he must be on his way up. When he's about to come up here, bob 3 times. Just lets us know on the boat that he's ready. There's Paul, and there's Matt. So not too far apart. Looks like Paul's coming shallower because on this side it's shallow and that side it gets deeper. There's a big gutter that runs all the way down here to 58 metres, something like that. Bend Alley as they call it. Don't know, I got a feeling Matt's probably going to win on the scallops here because he's been in the deeper water, but he'll get less time.
Here we have a bottle with a tampot blenny hidden inside. You can just see his little eyebrows. hole with another tampot blenny in. So it looks like rubbish on the seabed, but it's actually forming a home for a fish. They'd lay their eggs inside it as well. Here's a Shirda pottery. Could be modern, could be old. I don't know, so I'll leave it there. Yet again, another bottle, another tampot blenny. I only noticed this on the editing, but once you see in the bottom left hand corner, look at the camouflage on this cuttlefish. You see it, bottom left hand corner, just comes out the sand. I didn't even notice it on the dive. Just see here Phil swimming towards the reef. This is our little secret reef which we both like to have a little look at. It's great to see little lobsters like this coming out. So this is a very small reef and it's always submerged. I think this is a tangled trawl cable. It's just laying right over the reef. The beauty about this reef is it's well and truly covered in crayfish. I mean, there's probably 9 in 4 square meters here. They're very playful today. They're out in the open. Phil stopped to have a little look and one decided to crawl up his arm. could have stayed here all day playing with the crayfish, but we got to go back up. You can see Paul and Matt just looking over the gunnel and looking down at us.
Surface still. Guernsey VTS, is Sylvia okay?
Sylvia okay, VTS, evening.
Good evening. Just to inform you, we're putting divers on the cement wreck.
Sylvia okay, VTS. Yeah, that's understood by the cement wreck. We've got the clipper going out quite shortly. The Trinity will be outbound also to the south in approximately 35 to 40 minutes.
That's great. We'll be listening on 12. We've got our dive flag out. We'll keep close to one. Many thanks.
Understood.
Okay. 1.1 knots. So it's not quite, slack yet.
Good evening, sir. Routine traffic channel 20. Over.
This is an ex-Dutch barge that was taken by the Germans in World War II.
What I meant was,
the
I'll
RAF
wait for you
bombed
to
it.
go down, try it in, and then I'll come back. Oh, right. That's what I was getting at. Right.
You ready? I'll drop you down there, right?
Drop me there.
VTS, cover or cover.
Oh, I was going to go with him.
Oh no, he's going to have to go down and tie it all on his own now.
Shucks.
Should have got ready quicker.
Oh, fudge.
I reckon he's probably down by now.
Right, I did it for him and Harry the other day.
Favours, favours. Oh no, there's Matt there, look, what's he doing? He's well and truly missed it. Yet to come back up to see where the buff was. He was like a fish then. He's gone, he's down on it. Sorry?
You dropped him the wrong side?
No, I dropped in like, it was behind him. And then I backed away. I thought he's never going to make back to that buff, but he did. Pretty easy. It's that time of day. All the planes are coming in. We're on the flight path here. You ready? Straight behind you, mate.
Take the tongs down just in case.
Yeah, I think you should take the tongs, mate. The conger tongs.
Tongue the tongs.
Don't want your fingers getting ripped off. That's what you use to feed a conger.
No, mate. Conger tongs. Give it a go.
They're like chopsticks. Like chopsticks on steroids.
Yeah.
That might look like a piece of junk, but that is an amazing boat, that. I've been in horrendous weather on that thing. Be a sad day when they get rid of that one.
So me and Phil just come down to decide to feed the congers, but the tide's pulling a little bit and they don't seem to want to be feeding, to be honest. All these congers are the same congers when we come to feed them back on the 10th of November last year. And here's the one that tried attacking Matt's camera. He's been nicknamed Naughty Nigel. These larger congers, they just remind me so much of Staffordshire Bull Terriers. They're so dog-like with their head structure. You can see the muscles on the top of their head. You wouldn't want to get your fingers caught in one of their jaws. Tell you what I love about this is look at the little pincher near the conger's mouth. There's a little lobster that seems to be more interested in the fish. So she seems to be putting it in her mouth, but she doesn't seem to be swallowing it. Normally they would sort of puff the bottom of their jaw out and suck it in, just like this one has. This one's Scarface. This is the same one we seen last time as well. So as they weren't feeding, we decided to go and find some more. On each shipwreck you sort of get to know where you're likely to see congers. So in the rear hold next to the anti-aircraft guns and that long tube which was a derrick beam for one of the cranes, and there's also some angle iron at the front, or an RSJ, which is probably used as a deck support above the hold so you can put the planks in. So we're going to go have a little look over there now. There seems to be loads and loads of these small fish all over the wreck. So anyone that dives this wreck would probably seen this conger. She always hides below this beam, just sticks her head out. See if she's hungry. She ripped a bit off, but not much. Like I said, I don't know if it's not dark enough yet, or it just isn't time to feed, or the fact that the tide's pulling. Any fishermen would know that the congers don't really like to bite when the tide starts pulling. So we're trying to swim around the front of the boat now, because there's a big conger that's around the front called Big Mama. But as we're second on the wreck, the tide is just too strong now. You can see it's even ripping the crabs off of the shipwreck. As we drift down the side, you can see where it got its name. These are bags of cement, hence the nickname, the cement wreck. I've never seen so many fish on this shipwreck. I know they're only small, but this is a new one for me. There's absolutely hundreds of them. So this is midship, and that bit that's sticking up was the old mast with the derrick on, and the winches are just behind it. And we're going into the swimming astern. This is where it got hit by the RAF and blew the side out. There's a little tampot plenty. There's a conger underneath this gun. This is a round base. That's an upside down anti-aircraft gun, which was used as cargo. It was on top of the cement bags. So we're going to try our luck again. We're back in the rear hold. You just see Scarface down the side there. There she is. So the bait or the fish that we've got is the old carcass from a brill or a turbot, from where Phil's been catching flatties out on the west coast. She's interested. What Phil's trying to do is trying to coax her out so we can get her out free swimming around us so we can film her. This conger's got quite a bad cataracts. It's obviously been in a fight. It might have been caught and dragged out of Shipwreck by a fisherman, but the right eye on her is very poorly, it's glazed. Got like a cataract look to it. So we all know as fishermen and people that admire wildlife under the water, there's always a lobster behind a conger. And this is a decent sized lobster that's hidden there. Try and coax that out because that's interested, that wants to eat. There he goes, going back in his little hole. She's just not interested in that food. Did you see the technique there? Where it dropped its lower jaw and it was sucking the water in around. It was sucking the bait in, or I should say the food rather than the bait, but it was sucking it in. So you can see this is how congers, when you're fishing for them, they tend to mess around with the bait a couple of times before. These congers are perfectly adapted to shipwrecks. Most of the stuff is round, tubular, or small rectangle holes, and they just love to get in there.
Right.
So I thought that was Scarface, but it's not Scarface, it's a different one. I don't know if that's Naughty Nigel or not. But same again, watch the technique when it sucks the bait in. So quick. That's why you don't put your fingers near that. Just having another look for some more congers. There's normally congers around this part. Or under this gun. They love to live under the guns. That's me, I'm at 0 minutes left on the bottom. My no decompression limit has been reached. So unless I want to start staying down here for a bit longer, I better start heading back up. This time of year, this wreck, it's covered in, it's like a hair. The whole thing's covered in like a hair. But I've never seen it this long before. This is up over the top, which would have been the bridge, and now it's home to a couple of wrasse. So, because the tide is absolutely screaming now, as soon as we let go of it, we quickly zoom off. Phil's just checking we're all good, and now we're just going to drift off in the tide. So I've got to do 1 minute deco at 3 meters depth. It's not too bad. If I'd stayed down there a little longer, for every extra minute you spend on the bottom, it's roughly about 5 minutes deco. It's a bit lenient for the first couple of minutes, but after about 5 minutes it starts clocking up big time.
Back home to the cafe, that's enough adventures for today. That was a good dive, that was a good call that, Matt.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Shame the congers won't feed him.
Yeah, sorry. I'll try better next time.
They'll book it in next time.
Yeah. Can only book 2 things in at once, he said. Sunshine and a wreck. I can't go for the third, it's just being greedy.
So it's only Scarfaces having a feed today, Phil?
Yeah, none of them were playing ball. I think they'd had lunch at 3 o'clock, I think. They were all full.
Maybe, they might have just had their tea.
Yeah, I think they were full. Yeah.
It might have been because the tide had started pulling, maybe they'd stopped feeding when the tide started
Not
pulling.
maybe dark enough.
Or maybe not dark enough yet.
Yeah. We'll try again.
Yeah.
We'll try with a different cuisine next time.
Maybe some scallop frills.
Yeah, I reckon.
They like scallop frills.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Oh well, heading home. Let's get back to that cafe and get a coffee.
Oh yeah.